Hi, how's it? Hi. How's it in the name of Christ? How you doing? It's your girl Cranky. I hope you're good. I hope you're peachy. I hope you're stellar, and I hope you're in a neat little bunch. What's up? It's the 27th of March 2024, and this video is not going to be long. I'm just here to give a daily update as I usually do. I feel as if though I need to even keep it light and mild. I rocked up here yesterday explaining to you how my body's feeling, even day before, and I'm just on a downward spiral. It's just going downhill. It's like I'm not improving, but it'll eventually abate. I trust it to abate ultimately because that's just what God does. But let me just put this out there first. Caveats. Kindly look out for my captions down below. They're not always accurate. Sometimes they use a small g for God. Sometimes they are not very, they're not reverential, they're not accurate, they you get my point, just a whole bunch of stuff. All right, one day, God willing, I shall correct them. And then I'm very potentially wearing app makeup. If I am, you'll know. If I'm not, you'll also know. And then, whoa, I don't even know how I am. Like, yes, and guys, I'm strong. Nah, I'm not strong. Christ is strong. Thorn in my flesh. Like, is that basic? Anyway, yeah. I did mention that I'm very potentially wearing app makeup. That too. Oh yeah, well, exactly what's currently happening right now. Like, yeah, this whole thing of pinching my cheeks. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't take a jab at me. If you prick me, I bleed. It's exactly this whole situation. That is especially important today. I bet you can tell that it's before I've taken a shower because I still have all that white cast sunscreen on my forehead. Anyway, whatever. Irrelevant information that. But information nonetheless that I provide because I can. Anyway, yeah, guys, I don't intend to be long here. Just long enough, in all frankness. Downward spiral, like I said, it's just getting worse. Like, the situation is dire. The situation is dire. Wait again, people in the kingdom of darkness. Alright, so yesterday, I was feeling like the scum of the earth, like trash. Well, today's worse. But I still delivered work. I still did what I needed to do. And I will continue to do stuff like that. Like, yeah, I've been working basically lying down, getting up, lying down, getting up, lying down, getting up. It's been rough. And I've got this like ridiculous headache that's not going away no matter what I do. Like, no matter how much grandpa I take, it's just there. I should have probably showered first. I don't know, like, this white cast sunscreen is really kind of disturbing my peace, but it is what it is. We deal, okay? We deal. My hair is also kind of messy, and that makes me uneasy. But I don't have energy to do anything. Why are these so big? I don't really have energy to do anything. So my hair is the least of my concerns right now. Why are my captions so gargantuan? Like, they're so huge. Like, what, CapCut just made a decision that, no, we like them really big, make them super big, make them crazy big, and the human being in question won't mind. Not true. I prefer them decently sized, not looking like they're taking up the whole screen. Anyway, yeah, yo, guys, desperate actions. These are the actions of desperate men and women, because it's both. These are the deeds of desperate men and women that are trying to prevent a woman that's walking in obvious breakthrough from finishing their breakthrough. It's a breakthrough for a reason. It's called breakthrough for that very purpose. I'm in it, but this is why you guys get killed. Yeah, this is why they die, guys. I am sick. Like, yesterday I spoke about an impending nausea. Right, like I spoke about how it is that I was feeling nauseous too, like vomiting. Well, now it's mixed with a headache too. Like, yeah, it's death spells mixed with capitulate, sit around, do nothing, and I'm like, hey. Yeah, if I sit around and do nothing, that's when I start to die. So counterproductive. However, I am looking at Jesus and nowhere or at nothing else, at nothing and no one else. And I'm grateful for that because you guys, like, you know, just imagine if there was no God and all there was the devil. I like to say that. I like to make that proclamation, that statement, especially when I'm going through a lot of spiritual attack. I like to say, imagine if there was no God. Like, this situation that I'm in right now, like the past couple of days I've been coming here after showering. So by then I've already sort of kind of washed off the sunscreen from during the day, but now, like, I can see, like, it's just so white casty. But it's okay, that's not the main important thing here. I like to say Imagine a world with no God. Yeah. Yes, like it, but like you discover that the devil is real. You discover that witchcraft is a thing, that it works. Yes, like it, and then you bewitch the whole planet and expect that there is nobody putting a restrainer on this. Oh, God, I have no energy. Like I have absolutely no energy. You trust that there is nobody putting a restraint. Despite no energy, I'm working because you know ngakara. That's what's good. You trust that there is nobody putting a restrainer on this situation that I am in right now. This is no longer, it's not just brain fog, it's not just like a fuzziness, you know, this is a death spell operating mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a lot of sorcery, okay, all in one sitting. And I'm a Christian, so I'm going to get out of this. I'm gonna conquer. I had a dream last night. I woke up to remember a red candle. The guy in America used a yellow one. There was some yellow candle that he was burning for a death spell. Last night, however, I dreamt about a yellow one. No, a red candle at the end of itself. Like, yeah, apparently with those candles, at the end of the burning of the candle, the person has to be dead. And I dreamt about the candle at the, like, it was basically the wick was finished. The wick, right? It's a wick. The wick was finished, and all that was left was the very bottom, the wax at the very bottom, where that doesn't have wick in it. It was just the candle had melted all the way to the bottom, and the wick was gone. And it was just sitting there. That candle was just sitting there, finished, like burning. And yeah, I had a dream of me seeing just that candle finished off, and it was red in color. Yeah, that was God showing me one of their little death spells have officially been proven failed. Because their candle is done burning and you're still breathing. But they're not done. They're going to keep going back to the drawing board. Because I told you all the way up until you are officially set free. They're going to keep trying and trying and trying. Because all these years their spells appear to have been working. And they're going to therefore lean on their old successes until they get finished off. And then I was like to the Lord, so what? Am I gonna just keep feeling like this until I'm like out of my mother's house, until I have my apartment, until I finally meet my man and he proposes marriage? And God was like, I told you, Karabo, these people are gonna die. They are going to pass away because over, I guess, my dead body, right? For me to let my child walk through these streets like this, the stuff that you guys endure people through, this is why you have to die. Like, imagine if there was no God. Like, when you are so desperate to keep your victim hostage, that you are prepared to let a woman walk through life physically sick without being sick, trying to vomit without there being vomit, having a headache 24 hours a day, no medication is working, no grandpa, nothing. You think you can make a person live like that? This is the kind of stuff that kills people mysteriously, that don't know Jesus. Like, Precious Simelane was a celebrity in this country, and she died a mysterious death where she was sick and she kept on going to doctors and nothing was working. She even consulted Lama Sangoma. Nothing was working. Ultimately, she passed away with her looking like according to Western medicine, she was healthy. There was nothing wrong with her. They couldn't find a single thing wrong with her. And she died anyway. She was just withering away in bed from what was obviously black magic. It was obviously a death spell. Somebody killed Precious. That's just the thing. Stuff like that kills unbelievers. It kills people that don't know God. People that keep on knocking on doors of Disangoma. This is the kind of stuff, what I'm going through right now is the kind of stuff that killed Precious Simelane, where it is that nothing works. Western medicine doesn't work. Taking a grandpa for a headache does not cure it. Drinking a whole bunch of water. Eating very hearty food. Eating very energy-filled food. Carbohydrates gives you no energy. Feeling like you've got narcolepsy. Constantly sleeping all day long. This is the kind of stuff that kills people mysteriously. Like witchcraft. Y'all are creeps. Like, I can't say this enough. You get involved in this stuff, you're psychopaths. You are these like sociopaths, these murderers and murderesses. And then you have the also brazen audacity. Once people have died, to attend their funerals. You also have the brazen audacity to go to their funerals because they tend to be your friends, your family members, etc., acquaintances, colleagues. So you go to their funerals having done this to them, where the poor guy or the poor girl passed away mysteriously. And they kept on, in the run-up to their death, they consulted like 1 million doctors. They went to all different kinds of doctors. They went to specialists. They went to get scans, brain scans, oncologists, pathologists. They just went everywhere, okay? and like literally nothing gave. And then some of them, just like with Precious, end up getting to a point where they're like, okay, maybe this is spiritual, somebody ungloile. And so they go to the sangoma, yeah, fighting fire with fire. Kingdom divided cannot stand, ain't gonna do jack for you. They then go to the sangoma, and the solution is just so simple. It's so simple. Christ, just stick around with Jesus, and that which nearly ends you just doesn't. If this thing can do this to a Christian who is blood bought, fiery for Jesus, standing in the gap for herself and for other Christians and for other people that aren't in Christ, if this can afflict somebody that cannot just get knocked out by these serpents and these scorpions and all these powers of the enemy, what in the world do you think a spell like this does to an unbeliever? I'm gonna get out of this. I've been getting out of stuff for years. I've been getting out of random, weird, funny, like hard knock, extreme occult magic for years, like spells that lay me low-key waste or low-key destitute, low-key flattened on the ground, creamed. Yeah, I've been getting out of them for years. Like, after a couple of days progresses, and then a breakthrough, next thing is like nothing ever happened. But as a Christian, I used to expect that what would happen is for me to not get affected by it at all. But I guess the Lord allows us to have a thorn in our flesh for it to affect us to a certain extent, that we might be able to empathize with unbelievers, that we might be able to empathize with the unbeliever that does not get cured from this. Because this ends the life of an unbeliever. A person that does not have the Holy Spirit cannot conquer this. It is impossible. So as a Christian, I have to go through it, in order that I might describe to you just exactly what Precious went through. Just so you can understand exactly what it is that people who pass away mysteriously in their sleep, mysteriously from illnesses that cannot be accounted for, that doctors cannot diagnose, that like blood work comes back perfect, normal. And then and yet despite it all, umuntu yashona, the family is up in arms. They don't know what to do. Up and down. Walk in these streets trying to find help because they can see that lumdwana uyagula. My son is sick, my daughter is sick, my husband is sick, I don't know what's wrong. Doctors say there's nothing wrong with him. And in black culture, usually they tend to know. In black culture, people tend to know that this is black magic, that is attached to witchcraft. And so manje, when you keep on consulting all different kinds of sangomas in these streets to try and find a solution, like helplessly aware that inevitably umyeni wakho is gonna pass away, that inevitably your daughter's gonna die. Inevitably, like, you get my point. Can you imagine the feeling of despair, the helplessness that as a mom dealing with a 16-year-old girl that's obviously been black magicked, and you know, like, can you imagine the helplessness of that woman? Can you imagine it? And all she keeps doing is consulting more and more sangomas, does not know whether she's coming or going. And then after consulting sangomas, she then goes and prays to Jesus Christ and is like, Jesus, please help us. A kingdom divided cannot stand. You can't serve both God and a sangoma. I did a video some time ago. I can't quite confirm to you how long, maybe like a month, whatever, where I was speaking about how it is that these people that are tossed to and from by every wind of doctrine, that keep on praying to every god in these streets, yeah, you can't expect to get answered prayer. Because then on that day you mock God. God has a thing about his glory. He has a thing about his fame. He has a thing about basically being awarded. I can't stand being eavesdropped on. Anyway, whatever. God has a thing about being awarded glory. He has a thing about essentially people coming back and saying it was Jesus. Alright? Yeah, it's being very, very clear. So when you are busy praying to 10 gods for a solution to something that is plaguing you in your life, and among those gods is Jesus, you can absolutely dream on about getting answered prayer. On that day, it's like similar to, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie The Mummy, one of the Mummy movies. There is this dude over there that is confronted by this very deathly, scary looking Imhotep impending him. And he is freaking out, and so he takes out a Jewish Star of David and first he takes out a Christian cross and prays in the name of Jesus, and then he takes out a crescent moon of Islam and prays in the name of Allah, and then he takes out a Buddha little figurine and he prays in the name of Buddha. He prays in all different kinds of gods, and ultimately he takes out the Star of David and then he prays in Hebrew, basically, you know, the Jewish religion, and ultimately Imhotep stops and responds and says, oh, you speak the language of the slaves, I could use you. And then he ends up basically being the devil's sidekick or whatever. That guy, every single time the Lord shows me the insincerity of people who come to him when they're desperate for answered prayer, but they're going everywhere else. He uses that guy to describe to me just the nature of those human beings. They are like ones who are among a myriad of other little paraphernalia, religious paraphernalia, pulling out the Christian cross, whipping it out as it's dangling maybe even on their chest and saying, Jesus, please help me. Jesus, please help me. According to God's word in the book of James, You should not anticipate that you're going to get anything when you pray like that, because you're unstable in all of your ways. A person that prays a prayer unsure or not even certain if it's going to be answered, because they don't even trust in the God that they're praying to, you're not going to get answered prayer. You can dream on, you're unstable. When you are bringing out a Christian cross shaking, because it could be one of the things that could cure your daughter from what looks like a witchcraft spell, but you also yesterday consulted a sangoma. You are unstable in all your ways. You must just dream on, forget about it in terms of being delivered from whatever it is that's plaguing you, because you are not trusting God and God only. Precious Simelani, before she died, she was all over the show as well. She was busy with Jesus. Please help me, I don't know what's going on. But at the same time, she consulted Amasangoma, and the woman died anyway. She perished anyway from this mysterious illness that was obviously induced by black magic. Why? Because like it is written in the book of James, unstable in all of your ways. Do not expect that you're going to get anything from God in prayer when you pray a prayer that is insincere, because you're just testing, you're experimenting with all different kinds of spiritualities. The Lord loves his glory. He loves his fame. He loves his name. He elevates his own stature every single time there is answered prayer in the life of a Christian, and he will show himself absolutely faithful in the worst way before men when the individual in question that he has delivered has obviously just been chilling with him only. The Lord has a thing about showing people flames in the climate of a faithful servant. He did that with Noah. Ostentatious display of deliverance, just 8 of them while the rest of them were destroyed on the earth. Ostentatious show of deliverance in the case of Job and his family. They trusted just the one true God, and so they were taken out. Ostentatious show of deliverance with the Hebrews in the book of Esther. Ostentatious show of deliverance with the Hebrews in Egypt. Ostentatious show of deliverance in the case of David with the Saul and the Absalom stories. Ostentatious show of deliverance with Hannah. Whenever people are holding on to no one but just God, when they're holding on to just Jesus and not testing all different kinds of other nasty trash. Do you understand what I'm saying? When people, I hate the smell of cigarettes. I can't stand it. Yes, like it. When people are testing all different kinds of other trash, which is what exactly South Africa is about. South Africa is on that tip. It's got all these different things that it trusts in. People in this country are, I can't stand the smell of cigarettes. Yes, like it is. I literally cannot freaking deal. I can't stand it. It's all up in my grill. Anyway, what is this? I can't even concentrate. Like, it's all up in my nose. I can't even concentrate. Anyway, so in South Africa, there's just all this African spirituality, all this mixing with ancestors and all different kinds of things. And black people, especially black people in this country, can never just go to Jesus alone. They can never. Like, I keep doing this because I'm trying to conceal my nose. I hate the smell of cigarettes. Like, I hate it with a purple passion. Anyway, whatever. Yeah. They keep on going to Jesus and ancestors. Like, they feel as if though they have to create a contingency for themselves, some kind of a plan, a side piece plan, to make sure that they've covered all of their bases. And so they bring out ancestors, and then they also bring out a Christian cross and test both things. A woman out here praying in tongues all night long while fasting, but just earlier in the afternoon she had consulted a sangoma in order to cure her daughter from some mystery disease, illness. Dream on. Like, you can literally dream on, because then if the Lord has mercy on your daughter and cures her from this mystery disease, whatever it might be, glory is going to be awarded either or. Like, this woman is going to think that she covered all of her bases, and in covering all of her bases, here it is that there was now prosperity, there is now success. Do you know what I'm saying? And she's therefore going to award glory to both ancestors and Jesus. He will have nothing to do with it. If God be God, serve God. If Baal be God, serve Baal. And so the Lord will only burn the sacrifice of Elijah. Why? Because Elijah has made it clear that I'm coming in the name of the Lord of the universe. I am coming in the name of the Lord on high. I'm coming in the name of the God of Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham. I am coming in the name of one God. And when you come in the name of such a God, when you come in the name of God in such a respect as that, that's when your sacrifice gets burnt. That's when the Lord, in a very showy, ornate, very ostentatious, very shiny fireworks display way, makes it clear that I am the Lord and no, there is no one like me. Don't nobody move, can't nobody compare. Like, it's that basic. So when you award honor to just him and him only, that's when he's out here burning your sacrifice on Mount Carmel. That's when he's going to miraculously deliver your daughter from something that's plaguing her because your next door neighbor is a junkie on the occult. Yeah, that's when the Lord is going to suddenly just cure you, break you free from some strange headache that's sitting on your head like the craving yako KFC, yako chicken licking, just bothering you, just making you walk around like a log. All of a sudden you get loosed, you get set free. When you are out just standing on Mount Carmel as Elijah, crying to only one God, while a whole bunch of people are out there cutting themselves like the prophets of Baal, chanting and grunting over a myriad of other gods. The Lord will let them dance around and dilly-dally and bounce up and down on the spot like a beach ball that's kamikaze because it's also suicidal. He will let them do that for a season while you mock them, while you tease them, while you diss them and say, is your God sleeping? Maybe you need to shout harder and wake him up. Yeah, for a season he will let them play around and do games. And then one day, he will suddenly, very, very, like just feverishly in an ornate fashion, deliver a Christian so swiftly, so suddenly. The person that has been standing with him all this time, appearing to be under the spells of some random seditious monstrosities. No. Herein lies the deal. This human individual that is the Christian will suddenly get out in a way that is obviously God, like it's overt, it's clear. And you're going to know that it's God. Why? Because that person has been holding on to no one but. That person has refused to consult a sangoma. This person has refused to burn sage. This person has refused to sprinkle salt around her feet. This person has refused to pray in different funny little mantras belonging to Eastern mysticism. This human being has just been like, I apologize, no, that's not God. I ditch it. I absolutely have no regard for it. And during the time of their testing, during the time when it's quiet, during the time when God is allowing the headache to guang, because these are the symptoms that you bring into your victims, witches. You're like proper. You give people strange, mysterious illnesses that cannot get cured by Western medicine. Antibiotics don't quite retract the bacteria. Paracetamol, or other types of analgesics don't quite do away with the pain. Like, people are just out here lingered in an enduring, random, stupid sickness that they don't understand. Yeah. And the Christian is the one that suddenly gets loosed from it while other people perish. Other people pass away. You do this to people. You endure them through so much pain in their body. They die mysterious deaths. They get into car accidents. They have funny little ailments that they cannot account for. But unfortunately, especially if they're living in South Africa, they pray to Jesus Christ out here with shaky fingers, shaky hands, presenting a cross before Jesus on some please rescue me. But they're also going to the sangomas. Here it is that they're going to what do you call this thing, acupuncture, and then on the other side they're out here experimenting with alternative medicine that is spiritual, blah blah blah. Yeah, they keep trying all these things, testing them, and God will let them cut themselves like the prophets of Baal, chanting, grunting up and down all night long until they faint. And then one fateful day, and ever so suddenly, speedily, will the Lord then rescue the righteous. Will the Lord then suddenly just burn the sacrifice of Elijah? He tends to wait for the prophets of Baal to exasperate themselves, chanting and grunting around a fire. Yes, now around a sacrifice that's not quite burning. And at the opportune moment, that's when he burns Elijah's sacrifice. So the patience of Elijah is in waiting for the prophets of Baal to faint. And what I'm trying to explain to you guys right now is that some of y'all are about to pass away. You're going to die. You are going to faint. The Lord is waiting for you to ultimately be exasperated from trying to get to a Christian. And in that season, you are just giving a sister a headache. I've been asking God, when is this thing going to abate? When is it going to stop? I'm like, my whole body, like, I'm sick. Like, why am I nauseous? It's not like, like, what's going on? Why is eating not giving me energy? What is happening? This is lingering for too long, and I've been talking about this for the past 3 days. Talking about how it is that I'm in this state. Today it's worse. Today it's just horrible. Today, my body, I feel like literally, I feel as if I'm at a point in this particular progression of this thing that's afflicting me right now. I feel like I'm where it is that people tend to be just before they actually die from whatever it is that is a mysterious illness. Yeah, I'm there. I'm at a point where it is that it's affecting my body so badly that I can't help but be in bed. I work, like, I've been doing the content that I've been producing, lying down and getting up, because I'm in pain. I'm not okay. My head hurts, and like I've got a headache, right? That's the only pain that I have. But in my stomach, it's listlessness, it's nausea. I cannot explain this thing. I know what's going on. I'm aware that it's a death spell, and that's how under heaven it is that they manifest. Out here causing people to consult all different kinds of random strange doctors in these streets that are not going to do anything for them. But all I need to do is be still and know that he is God. I am holding on to no one but Jesus Christ. And because of that, Unlike Precious, this is not going to result in my mysterious untimely death. Unlike other people who have had loved ones just perish from obviously the observation of black magic. That's the sad thing about you South Africans. A lot of times when people die from whatever it is that's hurting me right now, you know it's black magic. You know that you bewitch each other into oblivion. You know it's witchcraft. You know that somebody umakhelwane somewhere somehow has done something to this person that's perishing, and so you feel helpless, you feel listless. And you are a Christian country, so you do indeed pray in the name of Jesus. Again, you take this sick person to the church, ask ukuthi please nithandazele uthemba uthepo. But understand, when you're busy taking themba and tepo to the church, and next thing, or you bring the pastors to come and pray over themba tepo, and then after bringing the pastors and the deliverance team from your church to pray over themba tepo, you then also go and consult next door neighbor witch doctor, because you want to, double check, make sure that your bases are all covered. That's when your Themba Tepa is going to pass away anyway. The Lord will not share his glory. It's that basic. He will not share his glory with anybody. If at all the Red Sea is splitting, God is not going to allow over his dead body proper, and God lives, so that can never happen. The Lord is not about to go and allow splitting of the Red Sea, basically an obvious miracle from him, to ever be awarded to any other deity. He will not let it be awarded to any other god. He will not allow the devil to take even a percentage of glory. And so where there is confusion as to who brought the miracle about, there will be no God pulling through for you. That's what you must understand. If at all there was any kind of ritual that the Hebrews did right opposite the Red Sea as they were chanting and grunting, that Red Sea would never have split. They had to wait on no one but the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They had to wait on no one but that God. And so it became clear that that God was the one who split the Red Sea. It became clear that that God was the one that plagued Egypt. It became clear that the God of Joseph in Egypt was the only one that was that enabled Joseph to interpret those dreams of the cupbearer and the baker, and ultimately of the Pharaoh. And so glory was awarded to the God of Jacob, of Isaac, of Abraham, of Joseph. Only when it is clear that it is the God of heaven are you to expect receiving a miracle. So your mixing of Christianity and all different kinds of things is costing your children's lives. It's costing your husbands, your wives' lives. It is killing your aunties. It is killing your grandmothers from mysterious illnesses. Like the reason why you are appearing to not get any answered prayer, black community, is because next to bringing Isonto Lonke to Tandazela, your sick daughter, you are also consulting the next door neighbor Sangoma. The Lord will not split that Red Sea. You must get that. He will not split it. Because then once it is split, once that kid of yours comes out of it, once that fever breaks miraculously, and your child rises from the dead like Lazarus, you're going to be out here thanking a stupid Sangoma right next to Jesus. He will not share his glory. It's what you guys need to understand. He will not share. His name is perfect. It's amazing, and he adores it. And he will not share clout with anybody else. I shall have no other God but me. God is not mocked, y'all. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, so too shall he reap. So all of y'all insisting on mixing all of your random gangstrosity stuff, you're proper just like that dude in the Mummy What. I'll just bring out a Christian cross, a crescent moon of Islam, a Buddhist little figurine. I'll just bring out the Star of David. You're bringing out everything. You are testing yonke into Hashem. It is no wonder everything just keeps falling apart. It is no wonder you just keep losing yonke into. So whatever it is that is messing with my particular life, whatever it is that is making my body as sick as it is right now, to a point where I can't even take it grandpa anymore, it's gonna end up making me sick because of the fact that I'm taking meds that aren't working, and so basically bordering on overdosing. I just have to write it out. I have to just deal with a lingering headache. I have to deal with a death spell that just needs to break now. I had a dream of a finished off candle. So basically these occult practitioners are at the end of themselves. They don't know what to do. They keep on burning stuff. They keep on stabbing mirrors. They keep on doing funny, strange stuff, and nothing is working because they're dealing with a Christian that they cannot destroy. And when this Christian then goes and asks Jesus, but then why don't you just not let their spells work? Because I don't like feeling like this. I'm listless. I mean, I'm just dragging my body through life. I can't even exercise. And the Lord is like, because if I did not let you go through this pain, you would not be in a position to empathize and therefore able to explain to unbelievers what it is that they're facing. You would not be able to empathize with them. You would not be able to basically have the passion to explain a serious problem, a serious epidemic of random Janes and Joes in these streets, doing this to people, killing people, and then attending their funerals. And these people don't get arrested for the crimes they commit. They commit murder and then they don't go to jail. They commit murder and they don't go to jail. They kill family members, friends, colleagues, and they don't go to jail. They are psychopaths, sociopaths, whole entire serial killers that are still living among you. They're still living among us. And their victims pass away mysterious deaths. And then they go to the funeral and comfort the mom. They go to the funeral and give the mom a 1,000 rand donation. On some mama, this is just, to help you along with the funeral expenses. You killed her daughter. The daughter of which passed away from a mysterious illness that the mom was aware was witchcraft related. But the mom's hands were tied because the mom was busy mixing Baal with Jesus. And so her daughter's gone. But you're gonna go and clock into your job, your 9 to 5 on Monday, after having committed murder. Nobody's out here arresting you. I keep saying that witchcraft, the fact that it's not regulated, is a travesty. It's an abomination. You do this to people. Give them feelings of listlessness. Make them walk around in a fuzzy maze that they don't understand where it's coming from. Giving them emotions that aren't theirs. Causing them to commit suicide. Sometimes you bring physical illnesses on their bodies until they pass away, with no doctor being able to diagnose them. And the Lord has made me feel for a season just what it is that you put people through, simply because a person is finally breaking through. So simply because a person is finally getting what they've always wanted. Umuntu, that you are trying to block like it happened to Zahara, you animals in South Africa. Finally, a person gets what it is that you've blocked all along. The woman was 36 when they took out ilobola for her. And then next thing she passes away a couple of weeks down the line, or a couple of days down the line from the date of her being paid ilobola for. When you get to the age of 36 and you finally get married, you can sort of kind of tell, especially when you're in the black community, that somebody out there done blocked your prospects for marriage. That's why when at 36 and only now you're getting married. And somebody was like, I'm sorry, over my dead body. Her family suspected. Zahara's family. Hi guys, how's it going? Y'all know that that's what happened. Zahara's family suspected that there was black magic that was committed against her. And that's what killed her eventually. That somebody poisoned her. That it was Umuti. They suspected it. So finally somebody gets to where they're supposed to get. They were supposed to get married at 27. But now they're finally getting where, what is it they want at 36? And then you're like, Aisuga, Lomondona is gonna just keep on surviving me. And so now you just kill them. Zahara, pray to both Jesus Christ and my ancestors. You ain't gonna get it. You're not gonna get rescued. You're not going to get saved from basically capitulating to spells of irresponsible, unreasonable people that don't want other people to live. Just like Zahara. I got a whole bunch of black folk looking at me on some, I blocked your marriage at 25. I blocked it at 26. You have been unemployed all these years. Now it looks as if though you're finally getting your life together, just like Zahara. Now she's finally getting ilobola paid for her. That's what's good. And just at the point where you're obviously breaking through, now your YouTube channel is growing. Karabo, now I gotta die. But you see, the difference between me and Zahara is that I've been holding on to no one but Jesus. That is the only difference. Literally no other thing separates me from her, because I am thoroughly also passing away. Because I'm finally breaking through. I am being cast death spells on by irresponsible Lay Janes and Jones that are walking these streets of South Africa. Able to clock into jobs with no police dusting any fingerprints for the smoking gun over dead bodies that they have put in the ground. Because it's done through spell casting. People that need to die because you over my dead body before you will get married, Karabo. People that need to die because over my dead body before you will start to earn a salary, before you will grow a YouTube channel, Karabo. Like proper feeling entitled to controlling a person's life. And when then you can realize because either way, either way, she's going to get her career. Either way, she is going to rise again. Either way, she's going to start her business. You then decide that they're going to die. You get to that point. You jealous freaks in the black community. You get to a point where you say, even though it was not first prize for me for Karabo to die, she appears to just be conquering anyway. And that all proved to you guys, just by the way, that witchcraft has a sell-by date, eh? It has an expiration date. It does. You cast a spell on a person thinking it's going to linger for life, and then next thing you find out Mamu Lobol. So you blocked something that was supposed to happen to her at 29. She's now 34 and it's happening anyway. So the frustration of the fact that the stuff of yours has an expiration date, the entities can't just latch onto something. That's what makes you finally graduate to murder. You get to a point now where you're like, I let her die because I did not want to marry at all. Your witchcraft, you have to manage it in sticky tape. You have to hold it together with sticky tape. You have to keep on coming back for drawing board. You have to invest in perpetually bewitching umuntu, and that's why you eventually get to a point of ukubulala umuntu. You get to a point of killing a person because you feel as if though, if I can't control her, then let her die. That's you guys. That's your spells. That's what you do to people. And you are walking around free, as free men and women, attending funerals of people that you murdered. You killed them. When you observe a ex-girlfriend yako happy with her husband, you then go and you cause the husband to pass away. You do a death spell on the husband because you don't want to have to watch umuntu constantly uploading things on Instagram. That's the stuff you do to each other black people. And with this level of witchcraft involved in your community, angazi why. I don't know why you're so busy with sangomas. They are literally ruining your lives. They're not fixing them. They're ruining your chances of getting answered prayer. They're taking away the hedge of protection that you would have had in Christ. The iron dome around you that you are in dire need of having. As a black person living in Africa, you are like Israel, encircled by her enemies. That's who you are. But always, people are constantly trying to heave you away. People are always trying to block your kinto. Everything that you can do, they're always trying to block it. Always trying to block it. And unless you are in Jesus Christ and covered by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, libalang, you are naked, butt naked, encircled by Syria, encircled by Iran, encircled by Lebanon, encircled by, you get my point. All who would try to heave it away will be surely cut into pieces. Why? Because they belong to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You need an iron dome as an African, especially living in Africa. Because abantu abamnyama abafuni ukubona impumelelo yabanye abantu abamnyama. Black people don't want to see the success of other black people. It happens inside families. Moms don't want their own daughters to succeed. Sisters don't want their own siblings to succeed. Brothers, cousins. It happens right inside your own backyard. Manje mongena iron dome as umuntu omnyama kaze. Awubona ukuthi uzobhoda before you get to the age of 40, because when you are still striving to succeed la emgaqweni. Witchcraft spells abantu bakudala are falling off now. Sell-by date has been expired. And so lo muntu is going to come back on some ujabu over my dead body in the ndoda. When you will go, you cannot die business anyway. They will tell themselves over their dead body, and indeed ngempela bazokubulela indaba yokuthi imithi yabo ina expiration date. Their witchcraft has got expiration dates. That's what's going on. You need an iron dome. If umuntu mnyama, and it's you black people, especially you black people in South Africa, you are the ones who are most mixing of Christianity and all different kinds of other things. You are worse off than all of them combined. You are insistent on holding on to this African spirituality of yours that is sending you to the flames of hell, hitting the ground running. But more than anything, over and above is sending you to the flames of hell. It's causing you to not get answered prayer to the Jesus that you are using as a contingency plan, just in case my ancestors akavikelanga sufficiently. You keep on mixing it. You are the ones in the most trouble in all of South Africa, because you are the ones that keep on bashing each other in all of South Africa. No one in the black community wants anyone to be okay. Manje, why ningazivikeli nina? Why aren't you putting an iron dome around yourselves? Why under heaven? When you are like Jerusalem, a very heavy stone for all peoples, a cup of trembling to your own best friend, to your own next door neighbor, your colleagues. When you are the cup of trembling, why are you not covering yourselves with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Why are you busy getting sangoma that are unreliable? Why are you so busy with all of this stuff? A kingdom divided cannot stand. Why are you so busy holding on to a God that does not save? He will not share his glory with any other God. So you are not getting answered prayer. Black chicks, nina any chatter at the age of 45. Cause dalaban blocker. I'm a prospect for marriage. And by the time you get married, it's to some baby daddy of 7. Divorcee of 20. That's what's good. And you're settling. By then you are busy settling. Because even though Nolu Ntwembu Hampen, every guy in these streets wanted you, somehow, njefela, marriage yak iluda, all throughout your early 20s, late 20s, 30s, zonke zahamba, until you end up married to Sebotonyana Sosa Setlhaloganyeng at the age of 42. That's you black chicks. When you're a cup of staggering like that, why under heaven are you not covering yourself like Jerusalem with the iron dome? Why aren't you covering yourselves? Why are you busy vagashalaring amasangoma? Why are you fostering boyfriends that are dating you for 10 years? You don't get to marry you. After just 1 year of knowing you. Why are you still lingering around 9 years down the line? Why? You end up compromising with mixing, with all of your fornication, with all of this random weird stuff that you're doing. Minake, I'm holding on to the God of the universe, and who in the world under heaven imagines that they have blocked me. I'm holding on to Jesus, and like Job, after losing it all, I will gain it twice over, 100-fold over. I will gain in this world everything that I have lost with persecutions, and in the next life I will gain eternal life. That's what God guaranteed me. Angizochata mina ujabu abantwana by 7 and 2 ex-wives. No. I'm going to get a clean slate, just as it is that I am a clean slate to some other dude out there. I go cry these scraps. Marona le batho bang shebileng, the way that ba shebileng Zahara ka teng a cry lobola ya gagwe. On some over my dead body, because ever since njefela I was 25, they told themselves ukuthi they're gonna chart the course of my life. Bazo decide ukuthi mina ngiyoya la empilweni, where I'm going to set foot mina. Where all those footsteps that I take, they decide, they charted that course for me. Bangi decidele kodwa mina at the age of 26 and a half, hallelujah, amen, praise Jesus on high. I gave my life to him, and I've never looked back ever since. And ever since then, black people have been trying to get me to do that which is foolish that they've been doing all this time. They've been trying to get me to acknowledge my ancestors wam, because apparently, allegedly, only reason why impilo yami bhiso kabuhlungu kanje na is because mina angithembe my ancestors no car. Impilo yami njena because I'm in Christ, and he guaranteed that if anybody wants to live a life in me, they will suffer persecution. But after you have suffered for a little while, the God of all grace will restore you to everything, lacking in nothing. I'm just going through my tests and trials, and after I have gone through my tests and my trials, I will get yonke into brand spanking new. Ingati, I just drove into a store, abavala the whole shop, and said, Karabo, pick anything you want, Lana, and you will leave with fresh bags of new stuff. Yotola yonke into entsha. Ingati akazo Greshap, he'll be so fresh and so new. Ingati, he's just been born yesterday. Umawake has just like literally he's just been weaned off his mother's breasts. The way that this dude is so brand spanking new. No baggage, no ex-wives, is he 20, nothing of that nature. Just as Lenakele fresh and that's how it's gonna happen. Brand spanking new at the age of 40. Watch the space. But I want to Karabo over my dead body, except here and last the deal. Okay, sharp, fine. Indeed, vele boy. Indeed, vele girl, over your dead body. You will pass away. It's why you gotta die. You gotta die, because this is what you do to people. You keep on insisting. Black people with all of this defeatism within your bones. Lok sangana wenu. Ukubulala nakabuhlunga nje na nje. Just cause when now you feeling ati umuntu ofuna ukumcontrolayo akacontroleki. So kwamele manje ashone. They just need to die now. Umuntu wakhona akwazanga ukublock umchado, so what you're gonna do is just end their lives. Uzombeka 6 feet under and fella all together. You graduate to homicide because li busy li batla control batho you megalomaniacal creeps. Li feel motho headache esa folenka grandpa elenga kara hakana elembokoto hakana headache ya fele ke grandpa. Why? Because wena o bogile pinky, wena o bogile lerato mo khoneng, wena o bogile reneilwe mo khoneng. How di ke ntaba tsa tshome ga go ke mang tembi right? So because you get tired of following her around, you decide ukuthi yazini siyombuluka lo muntu go tlo mo pata ro ama bitleng rona mo life roba ya headstone ha ke da mo go ba le unveiling because rata di practices tse sa etseng sense nje fela tse di ngata ntse re di busy re dedicate tšhelete ngata go batho ba tlhokafetseng when God is no longer concentrating on them, seeing as they've already been judged. That's you. That's what you do in the black community. Keep my ancestors wenu yeza. Keep your idolatry and all that jazz marana. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we will make like Elijah and wait on the Lord to burn the sacrifice at Mount Carmel. And as for me and my house, we will get set free from a headache that killed Precious Melanie. We will get set free from a strange, mysterious illness that killed unbelievers or people that were mixing Jesus with all different kinds of nasty rubbish in these streets. As for me and my house, we are going to jump up and down, celebrating the day the Lord gave us glory in spite, do you understand, of all of these blockages, all over the show, Jezebel, telling me, may the gods deal with me ever so severely if by this time tomorrow, Karabo is not dead over my dead body. He didn't even pass away. He was taken away by a chariot of fire, and yet there was a time when some crazy little feverish female was out there intimidating, threatening him with death threats. I'm send like the death threats. And the woman is the one that passed away with dogs licking her blood. That's what's good. Elijah Yena, even though at some point he was so scared of this feverish Jezebel that he wanted to die, asking God, kill me because Bona, she's busy killing all of your prophets. Elijah ended up not even dying. He got taken away by a chariot of fire. He essentially got raptured. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So all they can do with us is send us death threats as Bazalwan. Death threats. Mara actually finish us off like Alora, but everybody else by a border. Indeed, it's written in Psalm 91, 1,000 may fall on my side, 10,000 on my right hand, but it will not come near me. Right now, lengpile headache, mara yo fall. It's gonna leave. Yo zamai. I might even wake up tomorrow morning feeling right as raining at nothing ever happened. Kodwa. All of y'all, they were busy with all this random rubbish that are gonna be mowed to the ground like dominoes. Ngoba anifuna ukuthi umunye umntana yochata. Kanti wena ubatla ho phela. Batho ba basaphile for ingi. Imagine a world that is a ghost world that has nobody that's living because you're the only jealous little selfish creep in these streets that wants to have a life that everybody admires. Because that's what you hope to achieve, witches. And if at all there was no God, that's exactly what would happen. It would be a ghost town full of people that have gotten that have basically moved everyone out the way that they're competing with. Everyone. Thank God he lives. Because if he did not live, all of your witchcraft would have literally caused an apocalypse of the earth. Lawyer to a point of murder. And you don't even have a conscience anymore. And you cause South Africans to bleed. Over in Dabeguti, they keep on burying abantu that they could tell were killed by black magic, but there was nothing they could do about it. These South Africans live on. They are to blame. Because they are literally holding on to both Jesus and ancestors, and for those reasons, abantwana bebo abafoli. Bomme ba busy banza ba pata di millennial daughters and sons tsabona, cause later with the millennials la loyana. You are killing each other. People you went to high school with, you're neutralizing them, putting them in the ground, and you have no conscience because it's been seared. That's what's good. Your consciences have been seared. So le bolaya bana ba batho ba bang. Bomme ba teng ba tseba hore bana ba teng ba bolailwe ke ditlhare mara ba tseba hore di origin ya ditlhare tsa teng e tswa kae. All they can do is suspect. Batho, or suspicion is not gonna cure your daughter from best friend e taweng. It's not gonna heal your daughter from an ex-boyfriend e hlanyang. It's not gonna do. Yeah, Jesus only. Ujesu. Like, stop with your ancestral worship. Ditch your tools, your guns that you are loading in Satan, and trust in Jesus only. And watch him split your Red Sea. Watch him recover a person that you know and love that is under a black magic curse. Watch the Lord cure that person because you leaned on him and him only. Basadi, women, older women especially, goodness gracious, seeing as these millennials and Gen Zs are so lazy for God, you do a wonderful thing to stand in the gap for your families. That's what I've been doing for my family. Because of me. That's what's good. Yeah, you do an excellent thing to consecrate yourself to God, that the Lord might rescue your wayward children who are temporarily insane. Rescue them for long enough to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that they're lost. Because right now, millennials are busy butchering each other in the cosmos. They're killing one another with witchcraft spells in the spirit of competition. They are flying on brooms. They are astral projecting like no man's business. They are busy massacring each other to a point where the population of millennials that are going to enter into old age is dwindling. It's tapering down because they're killing each other with witchcraft. So I or a baby boomer or Generation X parent, and you're listening to me, you trust what I'm saying. Lean on Christ in order that you might not be a parent that buries your own child. Because right now, my own mother is at risk of burying her own child. Because some millennial freaks that were her former friends, some deadbeat ex-boyfriends want her dead. That's what's good. But thank goodness my mom doesn't have to be godly. Why? Because I'm godly. I gave my life to Christ as a millennial. I gave my life to Jesus Christ. And so I am covered by an iron dome. But the power of a praying woman over a family affects much. The effective, fervent prayer of a righteous woman avails much. Or man. So if it is not your kids that are godly, then you be godly as a parent. Because these people are literally massacring each other and they have no regard for the consequences of their actions in the future. Millennials are just dastardly rubbish right now. They are so evil that I don't even know who to talk to. I feel as if all I can talk to are the Gen Zs and baby boomers and Gen Xs. Because the millennials are just rubbish evil. They're evil in a way that is just insurmountable. They are the ones that are presently killing me. Anyway, whatever. I just had to share my sentiment. All of the sickness in my body is because people are thoroughly trying to prevent me from getting to where I need to get. A headache that's not going anywhere, but trust me, I'm going everywhere. Never mind just anywhere, but everywhere. Because I belong to Jesus. And upon awarding him and him only glory and fame, I will therefore be set free from spells that kill other people. 1,000 indeed are falling on my left and 10,000 on my right hand, but it will not come near me. But as for you millennials, like shame on you, like Nyonta, you are disgusting. It's that basic. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Kran K. Bye.